Hello and welcome to another Lincoln property blog brought to you by Ben from Walters of Lincolnshire. This week we look at what could happen to Lincoln house prices in 2026. As we enter a new year, many local homeowners are facing a familiar question. Should they bring their Lincoln home to market in January or wait until the late spring? In recent conversations I have had with Lincoln buyers, sellers, and buy-to-let landlords in the run-up to Christmas, one question kept cropping up in relation to that decision to move or not. What will happen to Lincoln house prices in 2026? Some buyers, especially first-time buyers, worry they are about to purchase just before a potential downturn. Some homeowners want to know whether there will be a boom, and, if so, where the market top might be before they sell. A number of landlords feel stuck, unsure whether to buy more or start selling part of their portfolio. No one has a crystal ball, but most property experts are not predicting doom and gloom. Yet will we see a boom? When people ask where Lincoln house prices are heading, they often look for predictions, forecasts, or bold headlines. The direction of any property market is driven by something far more basic. House prices are, at their core, a function of demand and supply. When there are more buyers than homes available, prices are supported. When the balance tips the other way, prices soften. Strip away the noise and that relationship has not changed. Ever. So what is the supply of Lincoln homes? Let us look firstly at the supply of Lincoln homes on the market. The number of properties for sale tells us far more about the likely direction of house prices than any headline forecast. With that in mind, let us look at how many homes are currently on the market in Lincoln. In the Lincoln area, in January 2020, we started the year with 2,370 Lincoln homes for sale. In January 2021, it was 2,322. By January 22, it was 1,367. In January 23, there were 2,190 homes for sale and 2,786 in January 2024, and now at the start of January 2026, that has risen to 2,908. So as you can see, the number of Lincoln homes for sale fell in 2022. Remember, this was a period when house prices were rising. And now, as we enter 2026, we are back at 2024 levels. The pandemic caused many Lincoln households to reassess what they wanted from their homes. Bigger rooms and more space became priorities. This so-called race for space in late 2020 and 2021 accelerated moves that many families had planned for between then and 2023. As more people wanted to buy, demand increased, and people bought homes. Therefore, supply decreased. There were not enough Lincoln homes available to meet that demand, which inevitably pushed prices upward. Yet some could ask, with the number of Lincoln homes on the market, at what appears to be a very high level compared to other years, does that mean we will be heading for a house price crash? While the supply of property on the market is certainly higher, compared to a few years ago, back in 2008, the number of homes for sale in Lincoln was between 5,700 and 5,800. Unless supply levels get back to those amounts, things should be okay. While it is still too early to be definitive about 2026, most commentators agree that a major crash is unlikely given excess supply. So what is the demand for Lincoln homes? Now let us look at the demand. This is measured by the number of homes that sell. In 2020, 3,446 Lincoln homes changed hands. In 2021, this rose to 4,606 as the post-pandemic rush kicked in, and 3,977 in 2022. In 2023, 2,911 properties changed hands. In 2024, it was 3,109 homes, and last year, in 2025, it was 3,441. Demand is primarily driven by mortgage availability and affordability, as well as interest rates. In 2007, mortgage rates sat between 6 and 7.5%. When the economy weakened and unemployment rose by over 60% in just a couple of years, many households were forced to sell. At the same time, the credit crunch hit the economy. the credit crunch substantially reduced mortgage availability. Thus, demand dropped. This time around, most homeowners are on mortgage rates of around 3 to 5%. Real wages are increasing, and unemployment is low and stable. There is far less pressure forcing people to sell their Lincoln homes. So, is 2026 the right time to buy your first home in Lincoln? This depends far more on personal circumstances than on market timing. If the right Lincoln home is available, affordable, and suits your needs, delaying can be counterproductive. Buying a home is a long-term commitment, often spanning 25 to 35 years. Waiting endlessly for the perfect moment can mean never getting started at all. Remember, I wrote recently, mortgage payments for first-time buyers nationally are 26.5% cheaper as a percentage of take-home pay than back in 2007. Therefore, every month you wait is another month of wasted rental payments. Low interest rates for first-time buyers mean there are still attractive mortgage deals available for those with solid deposits, particularly on fixed rates. Buyers with more modest deposits can still access 5% deposit mortgages, albeit at slightly higher interest rates, yet still not at the much higher levels seen 18 months ago. Landlords should be pleased that, as house prices remain steady, rents are rising above inflation in many cases, boosting rental yields. Taking a wider view, these are opinions rather than guarantees. If inflation remains contained and interest rates ease slightly, Lincoln house prices are likely to continue rising through 2026 and beyond, though at a slower pace than 2020 and 2021, and with occasional short-term ups and downs along the way. So, where will Lincoln house prices be in 12 months' time? Well, I would say there will be between a 1% and 2% growth in Lincoln houses in 2026, which is very similar to 2025. This is, of course, an average, and some types of homes and locations within Lincoln will outperform that, while others will be slightly behind that. The key is affordability. Plan for future rate rises, build in financial resilience, and make decisions that work for your own circumstances. Do that, and you should be well placed whatever the market does next. These are my views. What are yours? For more insights and information, visit the Lincoln Property blog at walters-property.com/blogs. Until next time, take care. If you are thinking about selling and want an honest, evidence-based opinion on your Lincoln home's actual market value, with no fluff, no pressure, and no nonsense, I would be delighted to help. To ensure all our clients get the absolute best experience and a total marketing strategy as unique as their homes, we only list 20 properties per month. Our January and February market appraisal slots are now available to book. We ensure that you are always a name and not just a number with Walters.